Well, the dust just beginning to settle a little bit from the runoff in the primary yesterday for probate judgeship in Talladega County, and the Republican nominee is with us this morning, Randy Jinks. Randy, good morning. Congratulations.
Well, give me a high five.
All right. You got the strength to do it?
We kicked it all off here early in February, and I'm a little raspy.
Right here on this show.
We did. I'm a little raspy this morning, so my voice is about gone. But man, what a good feeling it is for people to hear your message and connect with it and know what you're talking about and respond. You know, it was a low turnout yesterday. We knew it was going to be low. For the life of me, I can't understand why people don't get out and exercise their right and duty to vote. But beyond that, it was about getting your people out. And yesterday, the people sent a message, and I think the message is clear that they want elected officials that are going to get elected on whatever party they want to, but then they're going to be independent and serve the citizens independently, and they're tired of this good old boy politics.
You know, I noticed all across the state of Alabama yesterday, people who'd been in office 30 and 35 and 40 years were beaten. You see it as a new day?
Well, I think people want fresh people. They want people that have something new to say, something new to offer, and I'm just excited. Now we're not finished yet. We have an opponent in November, so we'll get to take a month and a half off and then crank this back up again. And it's like a tournament. Just like, does it ever end? Mm-hmm. But I'm just excited. I was just overwhelmed last night with the margin.
So where were you at last night?
Well, yesterday I worked at the Spring Street Community Center. Mm-hmm. And then we come down to where I go to church at Winboro. We have a little building there. It's like a fellowship building, and we congregated there. But my daughter worked the Spring Street. I was at Spring Street. My daughter was here at Jake Craig yesterday.
I saw her.
And she did a great job. And I've had so many people brag on her. I told people, I put on Facebook last night, I said, we unleashed our secret weapon yesterday.
She's a lot prettier than you are.
Well, I'm glad. And she just did a great job. She looks more like her mother, but she's got a little bit of her dad's personality. And I knew once I got her there and got her engaged that the other side was going to be in trouble.
For someone who back first in January even, that wasn't even planning to run for this office, how things changed?
Well, it's like I said yesterday morning on the TV show. The good Lord sometimes got plans for us, and we don't realize that right around the corner, He's got something in mind for us to do, and that's exactly what happened with this. And I felt like all the time after we made it in the runoff that He was going to shine on us. I said, as hard as I worked, and I put as much into this as I've ever put into anything, and had some wonderful volunteers and supporters, and you know, it definitely was a we thing and an us thing. Not one paid staffer on this campaign. Everybody that helped us were volunteers. We didn't have anybody to go out and put our signs up. We had to just depend on volunteers, and you know, I'd knock on doors during the day, and then we'd put up signs half the night, and you know, it's just a good day.
The numbers reflecting the wide margin of victory for Randy Jinks over County Commissioner Jackie Swinford, and 3,155 votes to 2,089 votes with all precincts reporting, and that's over 60% of the total vote. That's pretty strong.
Well, usually when you get about 58 to 60%, they sort of refer to it as a landslide, but I'm just happy that our people went out and voted. And at the Spring Street Rec Center yesterday, I had so many people come in. They said, "We're just here for you. We're here for you today." Mm-hmm. And I think it is a message that in Talladega County, our citizens want people in office that are running for the right reasons, and that's the citizens of the county. They want people that want to serve. They understand public service. They understand that it's a trust that the voters are placing in them, and they expect those elected officials to perform a certain way, and that's what we plan to do. My intentions, once we get through November and take office, is to do everything I can to make everybody proud of the decision of supporting me. And you know, I look forward to the future, and if I wasn't so tired, I'd be jumping up and down.
The campaign.
Look, this is for you.
I appreciate that. That's pretty pretty colors right there too. That's Mississippi State colors, you know.
Yeah.
In the last few weeks, maybe the last month of the runoff campaign, it got a little hairy every once in a while. A lot of social media stuff out there, and a lot of people saying this and saying that. Both candidates talked about not getting in the fray, staying above the fray. You kept saying everything that is said is factual from your count.
It was everything we put in ads about our opponent was researched and backed up by factual information. A lot of it was researched and come out of news stories that had been printed in the Daily Home. A lot of it was phone calls made to Montgomery to make sure we were right on interpretation of law. And it was all factual, and as I said the whole time, anything that I have ever done in my past was relevant yesterday. And I think the same went for my opponent. So it was all factual. We never engaged in anything negative as far as the issue that I referred to yesterday as the elephant in the room. And that was the accident. We didn't like anything on Facebook. We didn't share anything on Facebook. We didn't contact anybody. And we made up our mind after the primary that we just weren't going to go there. But when a fella comes on and he just tells flat out lies about us, we never said anything about his mother, never said anything about his wife or his daughter, and never would. He was the opponent. So sometimes you just have to call it out as when it's laid out in front of you like that, and we had to yesterday, and I was a little hesitant yesterday when we come on with our show to do that, because I knew all my supporters that know me well expected me to run a certain kind of campaign, and that's what we did until yesterday, and we just couldn't let that go without addressing it.
When did you begin to feel maybe as the polls closed? I know you're getting a lot of encouragement from your supporters, but when did you really feel good about this? Say, hey, this is going to be a good night.
30 minutes after I got to the Spring Street Rec Center in Talladega, and a few people started coming in, I had a feeling, in Talladega County, most people say, well, if you carry Talladega and Childersburg, you'll win. If you carry Sylacauga and Childersburg, you win. You got to carry a combination. So, from the first time you and I sat down here in February, we talked about my strategy was the Southern strategy to get us to the runoff. And it didn't take long after those voters started coming in and telling us we don't need a sample ballot. We got it. We're here for you today. I had one guy come run across and he said, heck yeah, I'm tired of them good old boys. And he said, I'm going to vote. So, and people come in steady. It was a light turnout, but it was just, they trickled in all day. And right up until 7 o'clock, people come in and we stayed there right till a few minutes before 7.
You counted the cost. You knew that there was going to have to be dollars spent in the campaign because nothing is free. And you felt like, hey, this is the right way I need to go. This is the route I need to go. And obviously it paid off.
It did. It did. And, just a lot of things were for it. It's like I've told some of my supporters, every need that we had during the course of this campaign was met. And I know the man upstairs had a lot to do with that. When we needed money, I'd go to the mailbox and there'd be a check, somebody sent a contribution. I'd be in a restaurant, somebody lay money down beside the table and say, we've been trying to run you down. We're for you. Good luck. So the good Lord met every need we had. And like I said, this was all his doing to start with, because in January I was worried about Clemson and Georgia. And this is something that just sort of, within a period of 10 days, it went from a fleeting thought to getting open encouragement from citizens across the county to me taking that leap of faith. And it's been good. And it's been.
You mentioned your daughter being your secret weapon yesterday.
Yeah.
There are, and you can't name everybody, but there are a number of people in that circle that really paid the price with their energy, with their time, which they weren't paid for, but they believed in you, Randy Jinks.
Yes, and I'm not going to start naming names because, every time you do that, you get through and you say, oh, I forgot so-and-so, and it's not because you forgot them, because you you remember everybody. I've made so many phone calls last night. I'm going to be on the phone today sending text messages, and just anybody that was involved and maybe put a sign in their yard or sent in a check or more importantly, sent prayers up. I want to thank each and every one of them, because this was a we thing. It's a us thing. You know, I was the candidate. Beyond that, it was just a countywide involvement, and I'm just thankful for all the citizens that supported our effort and really understood the message that we changed from elect Jinks judge to send them a message. And my daughter says I use the word resonate way too much.
That's a big word for a Winterboro guy.
Well, I said, I just feel like if we go with this message, you know, send them a message if you're tired of this good old boy politics that's been going on so long, that it would connect. So they pick at me a lot now about the word. So I said, well, just from now on, I'm the resonator. And I'll tell you, when I was working with Bob, when he first was running for Congress and he first got elected, we would do town hall meetings. We'd do about 5 or 6 town hall meetings in a day. And after we did a couple that first time that he did them, he said, how'd I do? I said, you did good, Bob. I said, but you used the word literally. Literally every paragraph that you state. And he says, I'm not going to use it this next time. So we were in Roanoke, and we got through speaking, and we left. He said, how'd I do? I said, you did good. He said, did I say the word literally? I said, yes. He said, how many times? I said, twice. He said, it just slipped on out there. You know, so there's certain words you just get them and you hang on to them and you just wear them out. But our message resonated well. You work for Governor Riley? I do, and I am proud to say that.
And you know, you were in Montgomery during his tenure there. His support wasn't as outward as, because, you know, you have to be careful. You're in a leadership position in the political realm and stuff like that, but you never doubted for 1 minute that he was supporting you.
Oh, and on you, and he was just elated last night. But, you know, this was my race to run. If you'll notice, I wasn't a name dropper during the campaign. This was about me. It's about my experience, my years of in public service. And yes, there's no doubt that Governor Riley was supporting me, the whole family. And but I didn't drop that name. If he made one phone call to anyone in my behalf, I'm not aware of it. I'd never asked him to make a phone call in my behalf. So if he did, it was unbeknown to me. And but this was about me. This was about what I have to offer, and that's the way I wanted it. And you know, I love the whole family. They're great people to work for. And if he's not the best governor in my lifetime, Jimmy Dale, then I'll have to ask you who he is.
Yeah, Randy Jinks, the probate judge nominee for the Republican Party in Talladega County. Van Caldwell, the opposition, in November. And, you know, when you sat here in February, you may have thought, well, June's not going to get here quick enough. But, you know, November will be here before you know it, too.
It will. I've got to have a little time. I got to go back to work, and I got to make some money and keep my power bill, keep my lights on. But I appreciate you letting me come on early, right after we qualified. I know you offered that invitation just quick. This was the first place I actually had a place to reach out to the public and talk about ourselves. And I appreciate our friendship through the years, and I appreciate you being a fair person in what you do. And that's the kind of judge I'm going to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Randy Jinks, the nominee for probate judge in Talladega County in the November election against Van Caldwell, and we appreciate you coming by this morning.
Thank you much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you for the count.
Keep praying for us.
More Daybreak right after this.